Hello everyone, welcome to Dnyanadeep. In this session, we are going to discuss on how to approach geography optional answers. So with the help of some previous year question, we will try to understand how we are supposed to write an answer for a optional question, and we will also identify some of the nuances which are required to be followed when answering a geography optional question, or even it will be applicable in some other options too. Now, this is a question from 2016, I guess. I'm not able to exactly remember the year. It could be 2015 or 2016. Question is here: geological structure is the dominant control on landform and is reflected on them. Fine. Now, if you look at this particular statement and if you are following some standard material, it is highly unlikely that you are coming across this particular statement. I'll tell you from where you can find these type of questions and how to prepare regarding these type of questions. There is very simple way to approach this particular part of the syllabus. If I talk about syllabus topic, it is nothing but factors controlling landform development. It appears to be from this particular topic, that is factors controlling landform development, but actually you will not find in any standard book wherever you go that what are the factors controlling landform development, and you'll never find much of a fodder, much of a material on this particular question. Now, from where this particular question has come? So there is something called as principles of geomorphology. Fine. There are around 10 to 12 principles. By and large, we study 10 principles in geomorphology, and these principles come as a statement given by many other geographers, and they are understood in a very scientific way, in a very way of geography itself. Various aspects of geography are collated together, and then this particular sentence needs to be interpreted, and then there is a critical evaluation of this particular statement also, right? So that is what we have when it comes to the particular topic, that is principles of geomorphology. So there are 10 such statements, their evaluation, so on and so forth. Now this is again the straight statement out of the principles of geomorphology. If you find these 10 statements, there will be one statement which is this: geological structure is the dominant control on landform and is reflected on them, right? So for this particular topic, you will have to follow a typical geomorphology textbook. This can be done with the help of a textbook called as W.D. Thornbury. Okay, so there is a topic, principles of geomorphology, in the same, or I guess W.D. Thornbury comes with the same title as well. Okay, so let us dive into the question and what we are supposed to address in this particular question, or what this question is actually asking. We'll first understand that, and then we'll see how to approach it. Now, look at the statement: geological structure is the dominant control on landform and is reflected in them. So you just have to talk about the process of landform formation, and whatever landform which has formed, one control on its formation will be geological structure of the surface on which that landform is formed. I'll give you example. Take example of, let us say, karst topography. Fine. If you look at the karst geology, it is a limestone bed, and in the limestone bed we have formation of karst topography. If I take such an example, it 100% fits into the particular statement that geological structure is the dominant control on landform. Whatever karst topography you have got is an outcome of what? It is the outcome of geological structure, right? And later part, it is reflected in them. Clearly you can see the nature of geological structure if you look at the karst landform. This is one example which I am providing you here. Fine. Now understand, in introduction we have to introduce with Davis. I'm just following with my method, simple method I have followed all these years. The method is, whenever you are introducing, either introduce with definition or introduce with something which is showing historical evolution, right? Or where you can mention some geographer and their theory. So this is the approach which needs to be followed in geography option, or this can also be followed in other optionals too. Now, in introduction, what I am saying, see what Davis tells us. Davis tells us कि whatever landform formation takes place, there is a trio of Davis which is acting. And what is that trio? Structure, process and stage, right? So amongst these trio, all these three factors are important, and structure in this particular case is playing a dominant role. So that is something I am going to introduce with. Now, in this particular part, let us jump onto body. In body, I am saying that structure is not always the principal control and never the only one. Fine. Whatever geological structure is there, that is certainly going to control the landform formation. That is true. But do we have only geological structure which is responsible for landform formation? No. And that is what I am trying to say in body. See, geological structure is there, true, but it is not the only one. Fine. Now, as I move further, I also have to define what is geological structure, what all aspects we need to consider when we say geological structure. So in that particular part, I first will define geological structure. In geological structure, there can be three conditions. One, lithology or nature of rock. Second, arrangement of rocks. In what layer it is formed. It may be that it's a horizontal strata. It may happen that it's a vertical strata. Some arrangement may have gaps in between, which will help in faster erosion. Some may be very compact, very well cemented. It will not help in erosion, or that erosion process when there is a cemented rock bed, it will be very difficult. It will be very slow. And then there is characteristics of rock, right? All these aspects will be addressed as a geological structure, and one by one then we can discuss each other. Now, when it comes to lithology or nature of rock, what do we find? Rocks are prone to differential weathering. Not all rocks will weather in a similar manner. If you take basalt, it is highly resistant to erosion. If you take sandstone, it will be eroded at a faster rate. Now, there are some hard rocks. These will lead to bold topography, right? So, if you have soft rocks, it will not have such a very well defined topography. In case of hard rock, you will find very sharp edges, right? When we say bold topography, we have sharp edges, sharp cliffs. So that type of topography is there when it is a hard rock. When it is a soft rock, there could be a curved topography you will find. Similarly, there could be different topography when it's a granite, because the rate of erosion will differ. Igneous topography is different. Let's take example of buttes, mesa, which are basaltic, buttes and mesa, which are standing igneous rock, volcanic rocks like this. Fine. If you go to basaltic region, it will have different igneous topography. Look at the topography of Western Ghats. Look at the topography which you will find in the western parts of Maharashtra or in the basaltic peninsular plateau, right? So, example is Krishna Valley. If you look at Krishna Valley, you will find that there are basaltic cliffs which are formed in that particular valley. So, this type of topography is dependent on what? The geological structure. Since we have a igneous rock, that topography is different. If we have sedimentary rock, right, there will be different topography. Okay, so there are some examples which have been given when it comes to igneous rocks. In igneous rocks case, we have silts, suesta, hogback topography, or even the formation of Patlands. If I have sedimentary landform, karst is a example, badland topography is an example. Look at the Ganga plain, the topography of or the landform of Ganga plain or any alluvial plain for that matter, right? So there is formation of plain, there could be formation of meanders, there could be formation of different features within meanders, right? So how it is forming? Because that particular strata is how? It is a sedimentary strata. Then depending upon characteristic of rock as well, we will have different type of landform. So whatever difference we find in the landforms will depend on chemical and mechanical composition of that particular rock. It will also depend upon permeability, right? If we have a permeable rock, let's again we come back here to karst topography. There is a permeable rock. If you talk about the joints in karst topography or karst land, so there will be some gaps which are formed, and that will result into faster erosion. Clear? So again, these rock characteristics are also going to define what type of topography is formed. So all these aspects, these are very simple. You already knew it. There is absolutely nothing new which I have told you. The only thing is you just had to collate all the data, right? When it comes to optional, the answer to the optional is not available now at a single page or in a single source. It may happen that answer is spread over multiple topics or multiple chapters, and that is why you need to have a complete control or complete command over the syllabus, right? So that was about the body part. You just had to give the lithological structure, right? And you have to mention the different parameters, different conditions under which different type of landforms are going to form, and that will address the demand of the question where geological structure is the dominant control on landform formation has been asked. Now to conclude, you can here draw diagram of different types of landforms that will again add to your answer. Now in conclusion, what I am going to say, though geological structure is dominant or though geological structure appears to be dominant control, but it is not the only factor. Also climate or climatic condition of a particular region plays an important role in the types of landforms which are formed in a particular region, right? And then I can add to my conclusion ki if we look at landforms of arid region, glaciated region or subhumid region, they look different because there is a differential erosion in that particular case. Fine. So that was all about this particular answer. We will see you again in next question. Till then, good time.